Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 530 News on Q2, Montana's news leader.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm David J. in for Dustin Kleeman. The federal government has shut down and the fallout has started. Federal workers were notified Saturday if they were exempt or furloughed from their various agencies. Both houses of Congress working today toward a short-term fix. Here's CNN's Ashley Coram with more.
Republicans and Democrats back to work today on a short-term spending bill, hours after the government shut down. Democrats hoping a new bill will include protection for the hundreds of thousands of recipients of DACA, the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, which expires in March. House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi laying out some terms for an agreement Saturday.
We've come to agreement on an outline for DACA and border security. If we have those agreements, now it won't be all spelled out because we're not writing appropriations bills, but we're saying these are the terms.
Republicans are lashing out at the Democrats.
They want a deal on immigration, and then they'll think about reopening the government. It is a shakedown strategy that Senate Democrats have been talked into by their base.
And Democrats are blaming the White House for the political chaos.
President Trump, if you are listening, it's almost as if you were rooting for a shutdown.
Perhaps across the aisle, some of our Democratic colleagues are feeling proud of themselves, their very own government shutdown.
President Trump tweeting, "This is the 1-year anniversary of my presidency, and the Democrats wanted to give me a nice present. Hashtag Democrat shutdown." Trump staying in Washington on the 1-year anniversary of his inauguration as Congress tries to get the government running again. I'm Ashley Coram reporting.
And Senator Steve Daines was one of many who spoke on the floor today. Senator says that the 44 Democrats who voted against the bill are letting children, national security, and those who serve down. He then goes on to say the immigration policy is one of the unrelated controversial reasonings behind the failed bill.
I'm here to make one point crystal clear for those Montanans who are wondering what is going on with their government. The reason that the government has shut down is because of a controversial, illegal immigration policy that was not included in a bill that funds the government. If you don't know that, you're missing the facts. We should not hold the country hostage for a controversial immigration policy that impacts 0.00007% of Montanans.
And Senator Jon Tester also spoke on the Senate floor today. Last night he offered a proposal to keep the government open, but it was rejected. He says Congress has failed for 112 days. The budget ran out in September of last year, and since then there's been no progress made, none. And I will not let Washington fail Montana anymore. Here in Billings, men, women, and children took to the streets in downtown Billings for the Montana Women's March. The nonpartisan 1-mile call to action began at the corner of 2nd Avenue North and North 31st Street. People of all gender, racial, sexual, and ideological identities marched to celebrate the achievements of women and to work in solidarity with one another to empower women and engage in positive action. The group marched down 2nd Avenue North to North Park, that is, to several speakers addressing the crowd, including State Senator Jen Gross. The speakers delivered a message of inclusivity and teamwork across all genders.
You know, I saw a sign earlier that said men of quality aren't afraid of equality, and I thought that was a really good point. That you don't have to be afraid of strong women. I think that you should support strong women because strong women support strong men, and so everybody working together is an important thing.
And the Women's March also took place in Helena. Before noon, thousands showed up to the state's Capitol steps this morning. MTN's Lindsay Ford covered that event and spoke to supporters and an activist.
Can we take this country back?
Yes, we can! On the Capitol steps Saturday morning, thousands of people were holding signs. The mantra for the Women's March is for everyone as a way to stand up to what some believe is discrimination or hateful rhetoric.
We're moving forward.
You can feel the energy here on the Capitol steps. There are men, women, children, members of the LGBTQ, and political leaders.
Will not let hate and bigotry define us.
After speeches were made, people started their march around the Capitol. Passerbys honked their horn to show support. But the march didn't stop outside. Shortly after the march, there was a rally inside the Capitol Rotunda. Heather Lynn Meeks, a supporter for the Women's March, said she marched last year in Washington and was thrilled by Helena's last year's crowd for the Women's March.
We have to hold our elected representatives accountable. They won't all be perfect, but vote. Find out about the candidates that you want to support and support them monetarily, knocking on doors, boots on the ground. Talk to your neighbors, vote. It's our government.
Jerry Hill said he was very proud of his community.
I came today and I found hope. I actually kind of choked up and thought maybe there's still hope. That's what it meant to me today. And for a variety of people to have a voice.
As we commemorate the 1-year anniversary of the first Montana Women's March, and definitely not the last.
There was singing and dancing performed by the Montana Women's Chorus. Judy Fiel, who calls herself a musical activist, said music brings people together.
When we sing, this sound that comes from our bodies goes out into the air, and it comes into people's ears, and it affects them. It changes their bodies.
And it wasn't just the speakers doing all the talking. There was what was called peacekeepers, walking around collecting notes with ideas written on them from the public.
When we get together like this and we feel these vibrations and we feel positive energy from a lot of different kinds of people with different interests but the same common goals, makes me happy.
Lindsay Ford, MTN News, Helena.
And also in the western part of the state, the Montana Agricultural and Industrial Exhibit wrapped up today, also known as MAGGI. It's a chance for farmers to get together across the state to learn about the latest farming technology, guidance systems, handling equipment, and so much more throughout the 3-day conference. And there were plenty of workshops and booths for an opportunity to engage with ranchers. Commissioner Larson says that he has been coming for many years. Each year is a little different due to equipment changing, but it's always a good time reuniting with the ranchers.
The updates in the industry itself are all here. So you know the changes that are coming or have come in the past year. And then you know that your neighbors are still around because they're here. You get to visit with everyone. Since it's such an annual event and the popularity of it will bring people from out of town, it helps us a lot here in Great Falls.
And the MAGGI Conference is among the state's largest of the ranch and trade shows. And heading out to Las Vegas, a preliminary investigative report about the October 1st mass shooting does not reveal motive for gunman Stephen Paddock's actions, but it does shed a light a little more on how he planned the attack. Christy Wilcox has the details.
Sheriff Joe Lombardo insistent as he speaks about the 1 October mass shooting.
There was one shooter in the 1 October massacre.
At the podium Friday, the sheriff said he's lost sleep over releasing this preliminary investigative report. Lombardo says this is not normal protocol for Metro, but now the public can scour through details.
This report will shed light on is the planning of the attack, the research that was done by Paddock.
Up until 2016, gunman Stephen Paddock had 29 firearms, according to the report. But in the year leading up to the shooting, he bought another 55 guns.
There was no suicide note, nor a manifesto left behind, no ideology or radicalization.
Between the two rooms Paddock had in Mandalay Bay, 14 types of AR-15s with bump stocks, most with 100-round magazines. So far, no other DNA was found in the room besides Paddock's, including his girlfriend, Mary Lou Danley. The report says Danley left the country on September 14th. Now the FBI is investigating another person.
We do not anticipate charges being brought forward against Mary Lou Danley.
Just weeks prior to the shooting, he searched for Las Vegas rentals and for Life is Beautiful expected attendance and Route 91 Harvest Festival 2017 attendance.
You will see in the report Paddock's disturbing search history from his computers to include extensive search history of ballistics and SWAT tactics.
Another inquiry on September 28th last year. Where is hard drive located on E5570? Lombardo says they have yet to find out when a hard drive went missing.
We have yet to determine when the hard drive was removed. It could have been in close proximity to 1 October, or it could have been years prior.
Paddock's physician told police he acted odd with little emotion. He also believed Paddock had bipolar disorder.
The men and women of the FBI's Behavioral Analysis Unit are working tirelessly to provide answers as to why.
The one question left unanswered, why did Stephen Paddock commit the largest mass shooting in modern history?